Good morning. Okay, now remember this is pajama week and I told you I was going to wear my pajamas and I'm still wearing my Stop Monkey pajamas. So I hope you have your pajamas on, and if you have a different kind of pajamas, I would love to see what kind of pajamas you have. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'm just having a little bit of fun this week. So this is actually going to be for Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, so we're going to do Wednesday's work and Thursday's work. So if you want to go ahead and pull that out, you've got a couple of papers, and then we're going to do our reading story like we did for Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so we're going to do Wednesdays and Thursdays, so go ahead and get those out, and I'm going to give you just a second to do that. Okay, so this is Wednesdays and Thursdays work. So you only have 3 papers in there for Wednesday and Thursday. So this paper right here is your handwriting paper, and it was actually going to be on Wednesdays. So handwriting and your phonics paper was on Wednesday, and then your fun paper was going to be on Thursday. So look at your handwriting paper. You have an awesome paper of a boy at the beach, and you can see what he is building in the sand. So on house number 1, it's capital A and little a, and you're going to only do 3 of them. Capital A, little a, capital A, little a, capital A, little a. You don't have to give me an extra. House 2, Dave made a sand man, period. So this is Dave, and here is his sand man. So he made a man out of sand. And then you're going to write that on house 3. House 4 says he has fun in the sand, period. And you're going to write that on house number 5. So this was actually a seat work paper. So this is just your practice part. Now look what happens to Dave's sand. It says house 1, a crab ran by Dave, period. So here's the crab, here's Dave. Look at the look on his face. He looks surprised. And it says number 3, did you see Dave jump? And my voice changed a little bit at the end because look at the ending punctuation mark. Yeah, right there, that's a question mark, so it's asking us something. So look at Dave's face. Apparently he jumped when he saw that crab. It looks like he was digging in the sand, and the crab probably came out of the sand and scared him a little bit. So you're going to write that on house number 4. Okay, let's look at your phonics paper today. Your phonics paper today has a bottle of grape jelly or grape jam on it. So this is your phonics paper for today. Number 1 says choose the correct word to finish each sentence and write it on the line. So you have writing lines, so we're not circling anything. I want you to be practicing using the upstairs, downstairs, and red carpet and basement, okay? Practice using that dotted line. The more you practice your handwriting, the better it's going to get, because practice makes progress. That's right. Nobody was perfect except for Jesus. But if we continue to practice, we're going to make progress on that. So it says Beth will play a blank. So you got to decide, Beth will play a game or Beth will play a same. Well, it doesn't make any sense if Beth is going to play a same. So the answer has to be game. So you're going to write the word on the blank. Then right here, this picture goes with this sentence. And then right here's your 2 words for this sentence, 2 words for this one, and 2 words for this one. So this one is a little bit harder on the bottom. This one with Jack right here on the bottom has 2 blanks, and you have to decide what to write in the blank to make the sentence make sense. Let's look on the back of it. On the back on number 2 at the top, it says to mark the vowels. I do see some special sounds, so it is a good idea to go ahead and mark those special sounds first like we practice. So go ahead and mark special sounds first and then the vowels, and then you can read the word. Number 3 says fill in the circle under each picture that begins with the special sound in the box. Remember that if it begins with it, that's the first sound that you hear. So in the green box right here, they said stir. So stop, strawberry, and the red arrow right there is pointing to the straw. So what do you think that is? Which ones do you think have that same special sound, Avery? Well, if you said strawberry and straw, you're correct. There's 2 of them, so you're going to fill in the circle under strawberry and under straw. Let's look at this one. Tw. Here's some twins. Here's a truck, and here's a 12. There's two of them that have that same special sound of twa. Thur, thread, three, tree. Now they're trying to trick you on this one. Only two of them have the thur. Be very careful because it sounds a lot alike. So don't let them trick you on that one. This one is spool. Swing, splash, splinter. Two of them have that same special sound of spool on there. Now don't let those trick you, okay? There's only two pictures in every row that have the special sound that they had given you. So be careful on those. Okay, now your last picture is your fun picture. And this one, I love doing it in class. So I'm really super sad that we don't get to do this one in class together. You have a couple of ways that you can do this picture. You can cut out all of the black squares and then you can glue the picture onto a construction paper, which is what we probably would have done in class. Or you can leave them uncut and just put them in order of what happened first, second, and third. So that's what we're working on. What happens first, what happens second, what happens third. So let's look at your dog right here. This one, she's holding the bone and he's trying to get it. This one, he's got the bone. This one, she's telling him to sit before he gets the bone. So which one do you think happened first? Think about it. Look very closely at it. And then which one do you think happened first, Callie? Well, if you're saying that she's telling him to sit before she gives it to him, you're correct. So this one is going to happen first. So you would put it right here with first. And then she's going to give him the bone, so that would happen second. And then he's got the bone, so that would happen third. So it would be first, second, third. So you could put it up and down, vertical, or you could put it side by side. You could put it horizontal. It's up to you. And then on this right here, you have a little boy wanting to slide on the slide. Here he's here he's sliding down the slide. Here he is off the slide and saying, woohoo! And then right here, he's climbing up the slide. So I'm gonna let you figure out what happens first, second, and third. So you're doing them on what happens first, second, and third, or first and then next, right? So what happens next in the pictures? Okay, that is the end of your papers for today. That was it. Super easy day. Don't forget to be practicing your why verse. Ye are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. Don't forget to practice your Psalm 23 also. We're going to practice this Psalm 23 this week, and then we're going to move on to our very last verse. So we only have one more big verse to do, and then after why, we only have Z. So we only have 2 more Bible verses to learn for the rest of the year. How cool is that? So this was all that you had today for your papers, but we're going to go ahead and get out our readers. So go ahead and get out your reader and then join me with your reader. Okay, so you should have your reader out and you should be on page 8. So if you look on page 8, this is a little bit longer story. So this story is on page 8 and page 9. So we're not going to stop. We're going to keep reading page 8 and page 9 together. So we'll go ahead and start at the beginning. Remember, if you don't need a bookmark anymore, that's fabuloso. Okay, you don't have to have a bookmark anymore. But if you don't even have a bookmark, you can use a piece of paper if you want to, or just use your finger as a pointer finger to track those words. And if you don't need to do that anymore, good job. Okay, let's look at it. Page 8. We're going to read it together. Remember to read your title first. Ready? Together. Time to plant. Dad will plant 5 rows of green beans and 9 rows of corn. He must first plow the dirt. God will send the sun and rain to make them grow. Josh and Meg will pick the beans. Dad will shuck the corn. Mom will cook the beans. The beans will taste good. I like corn on the cob. Okay, so let's talk about what Dad planted. He planted some green beans and some corn. But what did the plants need to be able to grow? We've talked about this in science, and we haven't actually pulled out our science books yet, but we're going to start doing that next week. So they need sun and rain, and we're going to talk more about that in science. But who's going to send those plants what they need to be able to grow? Yeah, God is, right? God takes care of us. He's gonna send those plants everything that they need to be able to grow. So who's gonna pick the beans? Josh and Meg. But what is Mom going to do with the beans? Yeah, she's gonna cook them, right? Okay, let's look on page 10. Now, page 10 is a longer story also. Page 10 is A Mouse Tale. And if you look, it's on page 10 and page 11. So we are not going to stop. We're going to read page 10 and then we're going to keep on going to page 11. So let's look at the very top on page 10. Ready? Together. A Mouse Tale. Gray Mouse made her home in the woods. One day she fell in a can of cream. She got out fast. How she did lick to get clean. Then she took a swim in the brook. She shook and shook to get dry. It was good to get her gray coat clean. Okay, so let's talk about what the mouse is doing. What is her name? Yes, it's Gray Mouse. And what did she fall into? Yeah, she fell into a can of cream. So what did she do first to try to get clean? She licked her fur, right? She cleaned herself off by licking, and then she jumped into that brook. And remember, this brook isn't a name. This is a little b, so it's that word that we talked about where it's a little stream of water. So she jumped into that brook. And how did she get dry? She shook and shook, right? She shook herself to get dry. Okay, we're going to read one more story because you're doing so awesome today. We're going to read page 12. It says the day it rained. Okay, so page 12. Ready? Together. The day it rained. It will rain, so Blake must stay in the house. He will get a book to read. He will lie on the rug to read the book. Blake will not be loud. He will let Beth take her nap. Wow, so that was very nice of Blake. So why did he have to stay inside that day? It was supposed to rain outside, remember? So what has he decided that he's going to do in the house? He's going to get a book and he's going to lie on the rug and he's going to read. But what is he not going to do? He's not going to be loud because someone is taking a nap. It says that Beth is taking a nap. And it doesn't say that Beth is his sister, but we kind of figure that she's probably his little sister, right? That's trying to take a nap. But the story doesn't really tell us that. So on today's work, you're going to go back and you're going to read Time to Plant on page 8 and 9, read A Mouse Tale on 10 and 11, and then read the day that it rained on page 12. And we're going to stop there for this week. Okay, so remember that you are not going to have reading for Friday's work. So you've got enough reading all the way up to page 12. Remember that you read it with me and then you need to read it to someone else and you're going to read it again for your homework. Okay? Okay, if you have any questions, have Mom and Dad give me a call. I cannot wait to see what pajamas you have on. I'm about to start Friday's work, so go ahead and get out everything for Friday. Don't forget on your graded papers, if Mom and Dad have a question for me on graded papers, that they can always text me or call me or send me a message, and I will help them with however they need. And hopefully you're doing your very best work for me, even though I'm not with you. You're supposed to be doing your work unto the Lord. So I cannot wait to see how you're doing. I love all of the videos and the pictures that I've been getting from you. And I cannot wait to see you again. I love you. I'll see you in a little bit.